Hello.
हाँ
Again,
जी
Yes,
सर,
what?
sir.
आपकी आवाज आ रही है सर अब।
Again,
Sir, now you
network
are
stuck.
audible.
Sir, now
कोई
you are
बात नहीं,
audible.
वाईफाई चला जाता है बीच बीच में, चलो कोई बात नहीं। देखो, for semi tendinosis, semi membranosis, long head of biceps femoris, ischial head of adductor magnus। देखो यहाँ पे टिबिया पे इंसर्शन हो रहा है मीडियल सरफेस पे, then groove on the posterior surface of again medial condyle of tibia पे इंसर्शन हो रहा है semi membranosis, then you can see fibula पे इंसर्शन हो रहा है long head of biceps femoris, but you can see ischial head of adductor magnus inserted into adductor tubercle of femur। So now you can see here is the main diagram here. See here, this is the adductor tubercle, this is the adductor tubercle of the femur. So here is the insertion of hamstring part of adductor magnus or ischial head of adductor magnus. Then you can see posterior groove on the medial condyle of tibia. So here you can see the insertion of semimembranosus. Then you can see the on the styloid process, in front of styloid process you can see the insertion of biceps femoris. Okay, and this is the medial surface of upper part of the tibia. So there is the insertion of semitendinosus. So four insertion on the different area of the tibia and fibula. So I told here is the tibial part of sciatic nerve, roots value L4, L5, S1, S2, S3. But only the three roots value main supply to the these hamstring muscles: L5, S1, S2, L5, S1, S2, L5, S1, S2. Not all other roots value. But you must know tibial part consists of all the roots value, and common peroneal part consists of except the S3. Now coming to the if they will ask in your exam, the back of thigh muscles. Also you can write the short head of biceps femoris originated from the lateral lip of the linea aspera. You can see lateral lip of the linea aspera of the femur. Okay. Then you can see the it is again inserted into the head of the fibula in front of styloid process and in the nerve supply by the common peroneal part of the sciatic nerve. Only this roots value L5, S1, S2. Same here. So now coming to the actions of the all these muscles. So actions I already told, chief flexion of the knee joint. You can see this is the flexion. So knee chief flexor of the knee joint, and then weak extensor of the hip joint. Weak extensor of the hip joint. Then you can see when the knee is semi-flexed. When the knee is semi-flexed, there is the again two rotation occur there. Lateral rotation of leg, lateral rotation of leg by the biceps femoris, then middle rotator of the leg done by the semimembranosus and semitendinosus. Now you can see when hip is extended, when you are standing position in the ground, then you can see here biceps femoris acting the lateral rotator of leg, then semitendinosus and semimembranosus muscle that helps in the middle rotator of the leg. Now, if you see in this diagram, now you can see in this diagram, see you can see here, this is the medial side. Okay, medial side two muscles present there, semitendinosus, semimembranosus, and lateral side you can see there is the long head of the biceps femoris. So this is the acts as the lateral rotators, this acts as the medial rotators. Now coming to the another things, what is the pes anserinus? You can see this is the upper part of the medial surface of the tibia. You can see there is the insertion of the semitendinosus muscle, semitendinosus. So at the tibia time, I already told there are pes anserinus. What is pes anserinus or good foot? That is called the made up of the by the three muscles. Curls between two shoulders. So above this one is the sartorius, then gracilis, then semitendinosus. So conjoint tendon of three muscles that insert into the medial surface of upper part of tibia. That's why it is called the pes anserinus, and also called the gyropes. This is again your MCQ questions. Gyropes muscles. So what are the names of gyropes muscles? What are the names of the gyropes muscles?
Sartorius, Bacillus, and
semitendinosus. Yes. So can you tell what is the where is the insertion of semitendinosus? Semitendinosus insertion बोलो.
upper yeah.
Seminosis insertion. Where is the insertion of seminosis?
The groove on the posterior surface of entity.
Very good. बोला. So the insertion at distal head of adductor adductor tubercle of femur. Yes. Now, what is the origin of short-head? The thigh muscles. Short-head of
Sir,
lateral lip of Lineaspera.
lateral lip of linear.
Very good. Now you can this muscle, semitendinosus muscle, biceps femoris muscle, semitendinosus, and just below it the semimembranosus muscle on the present in the middle, and then this biceps femoris present on the lateral aspect of the thigh, posterior of the thigh. Now you just can see muscles. Now coming to the arteries of the back of the thigh. Please try to understand. This is the most important topic. Arteries of the back of the thigh. Now we can see the main area of the femoral artery. Now femur reach the one branch that is the femoris artery. Profemoris artery. This profemoris artery two branch femoral artery. Okay, for now femoral artery branch. This branch lateral comes the femoral like this. You can see there are powerful and protein branch. This adductor and then go here come the thigh. So what one is the porting artery? First artery, then the second artery, third porting artery, and fourth porting artery. Here how what are the things are going to write? You can see this is the pectineus muscle, then it is the adductor longus, this is the adductor brevis, then this is the adductor magnus. This artery the adductor magnus muscles. Adductor magnus muscles pierced by the this all perforating artery. So now perforating artery. What the point you are going to write? First perforating artery present just above the adductor brevis. Please, you can see everyone. This is the adductor brevis. So what thing you are going to write? So this first perforating artery present or running above just above the adductor brevis, and then after it piercing this adductor magnus muscles, then coming to the backside of the thigh muscles. Now you can see second perforating artery. This second perforating artery present in front of the adductor brevis. Okay, running in front of adductor brevis. Now what is about the third perforating artery? Just it runs just below the adductor brevis. You can take one reference point, that is the adductor brevis. First perforating artery above the adductor brevis, then third below the adductor brevis. What I told about the second perforating artery, that is in front of adductor brevis, in front of adductor brevis. Then coming to the fourth perforating artery, this is the again this is the continuation of the profunda femoris artery. This is the continuation of profunda femoris artery, that is called the fourth perforating artery. Now can you explain about the first perforating artery? Anyone? Please answer. Only one student who knows.
Just above the
First femoral
adductor
artery is
brevis.
found above the adductor brevis. Second
Yes.
femoral artery is found below adductor brevis. Third is found in front of adductor brevis.
No. Second,
Adductor brevis.
yes.
Third
And
is
then third is the
below the
adductor
adductor
brevis.
brevis.
And then
And
fourth is the
fourth is the continuous.
continuation of profunda femoris artery.
Yes.
Profunda
Okay,
femoris
sir.
artery.
Okay, sir.
So these
Sir, you
are
repeat.
okay. Now this is the femoral artery. This femoral artery gives the one branches that is called the profunda femoris artery, and then profunda femoris artery again the four perforating artery that piercing the adductor magnus muscles. So now coming to the first perforating artery explanation. So this first perforating artery runs after brevis and piercing the adductor magnus, and then coming to the posterior compartment of the thigh. Now next is the supporting artery runs in front of the adductor brevis, then piercing the adductor magnus, the posterior part of the thigh. Now that one below the brevis, here the brevis, and the posterior part of the thigh. Then putting artery the magnus. Now the arterial to muscle by the main perforating artery branches of these perforating branches of the profunda femoris artery. So there are two anastomosis occurring at the back of the thigh. So one is the trochanteric anastomosis, then another cruciate anastomosis. So these again your questions. Trochanteric anastomosis, then anastomosis. Where it is present? First of all, you must know where it is present. This anastomosis occurs where exactly. So now we can see this is the trochanteric fossa. Trochanteric fossa. So in this trochanteric fossa, in this region, there is the occurrence of trochanteric anastomosis. This thing, trochanteric anastomosis occur on this trochanteric fossa. So now you can see this is the greater trochanter, this is the lesser. Trochanter of femur. Then you can see just near the lesser trochanter in this region here, exactly here, there is the presence of cruciate anastomosis. Cruciate. So here is the cruciate anastomosis occur, and then here is the in the trochanteric fossa there is the trochanteric anastomosis. Now coming to what are the arteries formed by the I told here situation of this trochanteric anastomosis on the trochanteric fossa here. Okay, you can see this diagram here, and then you can see the cruciate anastomosis present at the back of the femur, at the level of or near the lesser trochanter. This is the lesser trochanter just near the level of lesser trochanter. Now coming to one by one. So this is the trochanteric anastomosis. This is difficult, please, difficult everyone. If you listen carefully, you can write in your exam. See, and you can draw this diagram in your exam also. So what are the trochanteric anastomosis formed? So formed by the four branches. Okay, so ascending branch of medial circumflex femoral artery, ascending branch of lateral circumflex femoral artery, descending branch of inferior gluteal artery, descending branch of superior gluteal artery. Now, these points I'm going to explain in this diagram. Please, everyone, carefully listen. See here. So you can see this is the profunda femoris artery. Profunda femoris artery, I already told it gives the lateral circumflex femoral artery, and this lateral circumflex femoral artery gives the Again, here one branch is towards the trochanteric anastomosis. This is called the ascending branch. This is called the ascending branch of lateral circumflex. Okay, then you can see this is the medial circumflex femoral artery. This medial circumflex femoral artery again gives the ascending branch. So two branches from here. So ascending branch of medial circumflex and the lateral circumflex femoral artery. You can see here medial circumflex, lateral circumflex. So two you can see here ascending branch of lateral circumflex and ascending branch of medial circumflex femoral artery. Now from this side, now you can see this is the common iliac artery. Common iliac artery gives the two branches, internal iliac, external iliac. Then internal iliac gives the descending branch, superior gluteal artery. So superior gluteal artery. So which branches? So descending branch of superior gluteal artery. You can see this is the superior gluteal artery, and then runs downwards. So that is called the descending branch of superior gluteal artery. Then you can see this is the inferior gluteal artery. This is the inferior gluteal artery. It gives the descending branches. So descending branch of inferior gluteal artery. So inferior gluteal artery, superior gluteal artery, all are the branches of internal iliac artery. So now we can see everyone. This is the ascending branches. This is the descending branches. So two ascending branches from the medial circumflex and lateral circumflex femoral artery, and descending branch from the superior gluteal artery and descending branch from the inferior gluteal artery. चलो एक स्टूडेंट बताओ, ये डायग्राम देख के बताओ, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है ये.
सर इंफीरियर और सुपीरियर ग्लूटियल आर्टरीज किसकी ब्रांचेस हैं?
सुपीरियर ग्लूटियल आर्टरी इज द ब्रांच ऑफ इंटरनल इलियक आर्टरी. इंटरनल इलियक आर्टरी इसका ब्रांच है सुपीरियर ग्लूटियल, inferior gluteal. Okay, so superior gluteal artery gives the descending branches towards this anastomosis, trochanteric anastomosis. Again, this inferior gluteal artery gives the descending branches which anastomose here in the trochanteric fossa, on this trochanteric anastomosis.
Okay,
चलो बताओ कौन सा ब्रांच है ये वाला? lateral circumflex का कौन सा ब्रांच?
Ascending branch.
of the
Ascending branch of lateral circumflex femoral artery.
Lateral circumflex femoral artery.
Then
Ascending branch of medial circumference femoral artery.
femoral artery.
then like you can see this is the cross. एक ऐसा हो गया, एक ऐसा, इस तरीके से cross. So now कैसे, how it is from the anastomosis? फिर वाईफाई चला गेल रे.
Hello.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
नहीं आ रही सर.
नहीं आ रही सर।
वाईफाई चला गया। हेलो हेलो, अभी आया?
सर आ गया सर।
Now coming to one, what is the clinical anatomy for the hamstring muscles? So you can see muscle strain. So you can see hamstring muscles refers to the excessive stress or tearing of the muscle fiber. Athletics involving running or kicking sports, at that time damage to the muscle fiber is likely to rupture. Like this rupture vessels producing the hematoma. You can see this the hematoma, and the hematoma is contained by the overlying the fasciolata. And then you can see treatment of any muscle means rest. You must keep rest, then ice, then compression, then elevation. So these four is technique is called the RICE protocol. So this is the first clinical anatomy for the hamstring muscles. That is the damage to the hamstring muscles that influence the muscle strain. Now, how can you test the hamstring muscles? How can you test? I already told the actions of hamstring muscles. What is the main action of hamstring muscles? Action. Follow.
Strong flex.
Sir, strong
Extra.
flexion of
Uh,
knee.
chief flexor of knee joint. So if you are going to do the on the patient like this, you can see flexion of the knee joint, and it is difficult to flexion of the knee joint, and then you can say there is the tearing of the muscles of the these hamstring muscles. So avulsions of fracture of the ischial tuberosity. Sometimes you can see there is the avulsion fracture of the ischial tuberosity during the accident. At that time, you can see all these muscle fiber what avulse the breakdown occur here under this bone, and then this all muscle fiber, what happens there? Breaks away from the main body of the ischial tuberosity. That is called the avulsion fracture of the ischial tuberosity. So you can see such an injury usually occurs in the sports that require rapid contraction and relaxation of the muscles. Now next is the sleeping foot, then sciatica. Then sleeping foot means when a person sits on the edge of the hard table or chair, the knob gets compressed. The knob will be that sciatic knob. Okay, sciatic knob with the common peroneal component. So this sciatic nerve gets compressed between the edge of the table and femur. It results in the numbness of lower limb, but the sensation comes back when foot is hit on the ground a few times. Now you can see if you sit on this on the edge of the table, so there is the sciatic nerve present on the back of the thigh, and there is the compression occur there, and then there is the numbness occur in the leg region. Okay. So that is called the sleeping foot, and this may be come back when foot is hit on the ground a few times. Now what is the sciatica? Now you can see sciatica, it is the shooting pain along the cutaneous distribution of the sciatic nerve. Now you can see in this here, this is the sciatic nerve. So you can see it gives the two components, the tibial and the common peroneal. So tibial goes directly towards the posterior of the thigh, leg, and then you can see the common peroneal. It again gives the two branches, deep peroneal and common peroneal. Now we can see the common peroneal nerve. When it compress the common peroneal nerve, then it supply here. You can see lateral side of the leg, then also the dorsum of the foot. So this cutaneous innervation of this common peroneal nerve, that will be the damage. Okay, then what happens? That is called the shooting pain, and this simply by the common peroneal nerve, pain begins in the crucial region and radiates along the back of the thigh. You can see radiates along the back of the thigh and the lateral side of the leg and dorsum of the foot. So this is called the sciatica. And is the common peroneal. Main is the common peroneal part of the sciatic nerve, who is 148. माइक को म्यूट कर लेना अपना. Now next, coming to the next topic is the popliteal fossa. This is again most important for your long questions. Popliteal fossa mostly asked in your exam on the long questions. So please try to understand. You can see this is the introduction. So this is the diamond shape depression on the back of the knee joint. So this diamond shape depression on the back of the knee joint, this is called the popliteal fossa. This is the introduction of popliteal fossa. Now coming to the boundaries of the popliteal fossa. So please try to understand, everyone. So this is the diamond shape. So this is divided into upper part and lower part like this. If you draw one line here, so this line divides the upper part and the lower part. So upper part is called the superior and lower part is called the inferior. So see, this is the medial side. You can keep in your mind. I already told the medial side. What are the muscles present on the back of the thigh? Medial side, two muscles, semitendinosus and semimembranosus. And lateral side, which muscles present? Biceps femoris. Long head.
Bicep femoris.
Yes, long head and short head of biceps femoris, that is commonly formed the biceps femoris muscle. Biceps femoris muscle. Not long head and short head. Both joined to form only on the biceps femoris. Now, we can see this is the superomedially and this is the superolaterally. So superior medially is formed by the two muscles. Semitendinosus is just below. This is the semimembranosus. Superior laterally is formed by the biceps femoris. This is the biceps femoris. Now, coming to the back of the leg region, you can see gastrocnemius muscles. So this is the medial head of gastrocnemius. This is the lateral head of gastrocnemius. आपको ये learn करना पड़ेगा. This thing you can keep in your mind. This is the medial head of gastrocnemius. This is the lateral head of gastrocnemius. So inferolaterally, inferomedially. So inferomedially is the medial head of gastrocnemius. Inferolaterally is the lateral head of gastrocnemius, and there is a supplemented by the plantaris muscle. You can see this is the plantaris muscle. So what is the boundary of the popliteal fossa? Superior medially formed by the what?
Unmuted.
Yes. Then superior laterally is formed by what? Superior laterally.
Bicep.
Bicep femoris.
And then inferomedially is formed by
Medial
Medial head of
Medial head
gastrocnemius.
of gastrocnemius.
gastrocnemius. And then laterally, inferolaterally is formed
Lateral
by
head
what?
of gastrocnemius.
Lateral head of
gastrocnemius.
gastrocnemius supplemented by the plantaris muscles.
Plantaris muscle. Yes, very good. So this diagram you are going to write, you can draw in your exam for the and original muscles you can see like this: semitendinosus, semimembranosus, biceps femoris. Then this is the medial head of gastrocnemius, lateral head of gastrocnemius, and there you can see the plantaris muscle. Now coming to the, I told the boundaries, then coming to the floor. Now you can see this floor of the this popliteal fossa formed by the popliteal. First is the popliteal. These all are the then popliteal ligament, popliteal fossa, fascia covering the fascia covering muscles. So these are forming the floor of the popliteal fossa. Then roof. You can see roof of this popliteal fossa are formed by the strong popliteal fascia, and then superficial fascia over the roof contains short saphenous vein. You can see this is the short saphenous vein. Then you can see the three cutaneous nerves. Three cutaneous nerves are, one is the posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh. This is the terminal part. Then this is the posterior division of medial cutaneous nerve of thigh. Then this is the sural communicating nerve. So these three are the three cutaneous nerves of the superficial fascia content, and then you can see the all these nerves piercing this fossa, popliteal fossa, except the posterior division of medial cutaneous nerve of thigh. It does not piercing the popliteal fossa. You can see here this cutaneous nerve, posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh piercing the popliteal fossa. Then again the sural communicating nerve piercing the popliteal fossa, but does not this pierced by this nerve. Posterior division of medial cutaneous nerve of thigh. Now the contents are, you can see here, popliteal artery, popliteal vein, then tibial nerve, then common peroneal nerve. Here this is the common peroneal nerve, this is the tibial nerve. Then there you can see the popliteal lymph nodes. Then you can see popliteal pad of fat. Then I told this one posterior cutaneous nerve of the thigh. Then short saphenous vein. Then genicular branch of the obturator nerve. So you can write contents like this. Okay, all these points you are going to write in your exam. Now coming to the artery, nerve, then vein in this popliteal fossa. If, as you know that आर्टरी था फिमोरल ट्रायंगल में फिमोरल आर्टरी, ठीक है, वही फिमोरल आर्टरी popliteal fossa में superior angle से, देखो superior angle में जो this femoral artery continues as popliteal artery, and then popliteal artery gives the meaning. I will tell you later on. So ये देखिए femoral artery when it continues popliteal fossa.
सर आपकी आवाज बीच बीच में से कट जा रही है.
Sir, your voice is all.
हाँ हाँ हिंदी में समझ में आ गया सर को भाई.
And now you can see वाईफाई चला जाता है बीच बीच में, वाईफाई चला.
सर इसको एक और बार रिपीट कर दीजिए.
Now you can see here. See, for this femoral artery, you can see in the femoral triangle. Then this femoral artery continues as femoral artery again in the adductor canal also. And then when it leaves from the adductor canal, then enters into the popliteal fossa, and that femoral artery continues as the popliteal artery. Femoral artery का नाम हो जाता है popliteal artery when it enters into this popliteal fossa. आप इतना याद रखिए. Now you can see there is the popliteal vein. Then you can see there is the sciatic nerve. This sciatic nerve on the superior angle, sciatic nerve on the superior angle of popliteal fossa, it gives the two branches. One is the tibial nerve. You can see this is the tibial nerve, and then this is the common peroneal nerve. You can see this is the common peroneal nerve. Now, what is the relation between this nerve, tibial nerve, then popliteal vein, then popliteal artery? So you can see this is divided into three parts. Popliteal fossa is divided into three parts: upper part, then middle part. This is the middle part, and this is the lower part. देखो upper part में from the lateral to medial side, you can see from lateral to medial side, you can see laterally, most laterally is the tibial nerve, then you can see the popliteal vein, then you can see the popliteal artery. So NVA, what is the technique? NVA on the upper part of the popliteal fossa. This is the tibial nerve, popliteal vein, popliteal artery. So NVA. If you see in the middle aspect, middle part of the popliteal fossa, you can see most superficialized the nerve, then below this is the vein, then below this is the artery. So most deeply present is the artery, popliteal artery in the middle part. Now if you see, if you go downward on the lower part of the popliteal fossa, now you can see the from lateral to medial side, artery, vein, nerve. So AVN, you can see AVN. Okay, so this is the relations of artery, vein, nerve and in the popliteal fossa. Popliteal fossa के popliteal fossa में जो है ना artery, vein, nerve कैसे अरेंज होता है, समझ में आया ये? Hello.
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
So this popliteal fossa is divided into three parts. This is the upper part, this is the middle part, and this is the lower part. So upper part में आपको lateral to medial जाइए. This is the lateral side, this is the medial side. So NVA. This N means the tibial nerve. Now middle part, superficial to deep, most superficial nerve, then vein, then artery. If you go downward, the lower part, artery, vein, nerve. Now come to the popliteal artery. I already told popliteal artery is the continuation of femoral artery. It begins at the opening of the adductor hiatus. You can see here, adductor magnus का जो opening है ना ये that is the last extent of the adductor canal है ये. Adductor canal से जो leave होता है वहाँ से when it leaves femoral artery and enters into the popliteal fossa, that becomes the popliteal artery. इसको बार आप देखो in this popliteal artery, when it enters into the popliteal fossa, and then when it goes just below the this lower border of the popliteal muscle, popliteus muscle, it divides into two branches. One is the anterior tibial artery, another is the posterior tibial artery. तो आपको ये याद रखना है point, lower border of popliteus muscles, this popliteal artery divides into two terminal branches, anterior tibial artery and posterior tibial artery. Now relations, you can see this is the popliteal artery. Hello. May I audible, please? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Yes,
Wi-Fi
sir.
is
Now you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So see, you can see what is the relations of popliteal artery. So this is the anterior relations, and this side is the posterior relations. Then you can see the laterally and medially. You can see medially is the these muscles, laterally is the these all muscles, and then anteriorly you can see popliteal pad of fat, popliteal lymph nodes. Then posteriorly you can see the popliteal vein. You can see this is the popliteal vein. Then you can see the tibial nerve and the roof. So this is not so much important relations of the popliteal artery. So now you can see the branches. So it gives the cutaneous branches and then also the muscular branches. Cutaneous branches pierce the roof and supplying the overlying the skin. Then muscular branches gives to the this all the hamstring muscles and adductor magnus muscles and triceps surae muscles. So what is the triceps surae muscles? That is the two heads of gastrocnemius, medial and lateral head of gastrocnemius, and soleus muscles. These three muscles are called the triceps surae. Triceps surae. This is again your Viva questions. And then the plantaris muscles. So all these popliteal artery gives the cutaneous branches, then muscular branches to all these muscles, then the genicular branches. So genicular branches are the most important. Please try to understand. See here, this is the popliteal artery. It gives the uh, five genicular branches. You can see this is the superior and this is the inferior and this is the middle. So superior side you can see medial and lateral. So medial and lateral superior genicular artery, and the inferior side, see here, this is the medial and lateral inferior genicular artery, and then only one is the middle aspect, middle genicular artery. Both easy है genicular branches, medial and lateral superior genicular artery, then medial and lateral inferior genicular artery, and then the middle genicular artery. Genicular artery के नाम बताइए क्या क्या है? Genicular branches of popliteal artery.
Superior middle
Hello?
genicular artery, inferior middle genicular artery, superior
Medial
lateral
and
genicular artery,
lateral superior genicular artery, medial
And lateral
and
inferior.
lateral inferior genicular artery, and middle genicular artery.
Yes. Now coming to the popliteal vein. आपको डिटेल में नहीं बताने जा रहा हूँ, बस थोड़ा सा याद रखिए. This popliteal vein, you can see popliteal vein is formed by the joining of anterior tibial vein, posterior tibial vein, and then it forming the popliteal vein here like this. And then what are the tributaries? You can see tributaries are the small saphenous vein and then the veins corresponding to the branches of popliteal artery. So this is not so much important. Now coming to the tibial nerve, not in detail because these all are the contents of the popliteal fossa. No, that's why I'm going to explain little bit about the contents. So tibial nerve के बारे में क्या लिखना है आपको? This is the component of the sciatic nerve, roots value. All these all are the roots value. Branches. So you can see muscular branches gives to these all muscles. Muscular branches, then genicular branches. So these all are the genicular branches name. Then cutaneous branches is called the sural nerve. This is again your Viva questions. Sural nerve is the branch of tibial nerve. Sural nerve is the branch of tibial nerve. So don't write all these things. You can write the genicular branches. So 3. So now cutaneous branches is called the sural nerve. Now coming to the common, you can see the branch, deep nerve and facial nerve. When it is the facial branch, the sural nerve. And will be notes how many the notes in the pet. Lateral side foot. No, I'll be now now you can call patellar dermal of the idiopathic the type of fossa next at him the still then the period it is assisting cause can see this is annual bursa. So that annual present between the semimembranosus muscle or between the medial head of gastrocnemius and semimembranosus muscle. So only this is the most point. You can see how can you palpating the popliteal artery. So like this you can see popliteal artery because popliteal artery present most deeply. Okay, deeply. So you can feel like this. So now coming to the MCQ questions. What is the answer for this? Hello.
Adductor.
Adductor magnus.
Adductor magnus, sir.
Adductor magnus.
Now next, this one.